So now, children, let us understand the summary of the chapter Boy Scouts Forever. I was a Boy Scout once. Be prepared, that's the Boy Scout motto. But I never seem to be well prepared for anything. So, how did I survive as a Boy Scout? Well, it seems a rumor had gone around the junior school that I was a good cook. Yes, I had never cooked anything in my life, but of course, I had spent a lot of time in the tuck shop making suggestions and advising Chimpu to make who ran the tuck shop and encouraging him to make more and better samosas, jalebis, tikkis and pakoras. For my unwanted advice, he would favor me with an occasional free samosa. So naturally, I looked upon him as a friend. With this qualification, I was given a cookery badge and put in charge of a troop's supply of rations. There were about 20 of us in our troop. During the summer break, our scoutmaster, Mr. Oliver, took us on a camping expedition to Tara Devi, a few miles outside Shimla. The first night, we were put to work peeling tomatoes, skinning onions, shelling peas, and pounding masalas. These various ingredients being ready, I was asked as a troop cookery expert what should be done with them. Put everything in that big dekchi, I ordered. Pour half a tin of ghee over the lot. So you can see, add some nettle leaves and cook for half an hour. When this was done, everything had a taste. But the general opinion was that the dish lacked something. What was that? More salt, I suggested. Then more salt was added. It still lacked something. Add a cup of sugar, I ordered. Sugar was added to the concoction, but it still lacked something. We forgot to add tomatoes, one of the scouts said. Never mind, I said. We have tomato sauce. Add a bottle of tomato sauce to it. How about some vinegar? Suggested another boy. Just the thing, I said. Add a cup of vinegar. Now it's too sour, said one of the tasters. What jam did we bring? I asked. Gooseberry jam. Just the thing. Empty the bottle. The dish was a great success. Everyone enjoyed it, including Mr. Oliver, who had no idea what had gone into it. What is this called? He asked. It's an all Indian sweet and sour jam potato curry, I ventured. For short, just call it as Bond Bhujia, said one of the boys. I had earned my cookery badge. Poor Mr. Oliver, he wasn't really cut out to be a scout master. The following day, he told us that he would give us a lesson in tracking. And taking a half an hour start, he walked into the forest, leaving behind him a trail of broken twigs, feathers, pine cones, and chestnuts. We were to follow the trail until we found him. Unfortunately, we were not very good trackers. We did follow Mr. Oliver's trail some way into the forest, but then we were distracted by a pool of clear water. It looked very inviting. Abandoning our uniforms, we all jumped into the pool and had a great time. Romping about or just lying on its grassy banks and enjoying the sunshine. Many hours later, feeling hungry, we returned to our campsite and set about preparing that evening meal. It was Bon Bhujia again, but with a few variation. It was growing dark and we were beginning to worry about Mr. Oliver's whereabout. When he limped into the camp, assisted by a couple of local villagers. Having waited for us at the far end of the forest for a couple of hours, he had decided to return by following his own trail. But in the gathering gloom, he was soon lost. Village folk returning home from the temple took charge and escorted him back to the camp. He was very angry and made us return all our good conduct and other badges. I had to give up my cookery badge as well. An hour later, when we all were preparing to get into our sleeping bags for the night, Mr. Oliver called out, "Where's the dinner?" "We had ours," said one of the boys. "Everything is finished, sir." Mr. Oliver returned to his tent in a huff. "Tomorrow, Bond, will breakfast early." We had to break up for a camp before we had, because in the early hours of the next morning, a bear strayed into our camp, entered the tent, and created havoc with all our provisions, even rolling our biggest dekchi down the hillside. In the confusion and uproar that was followed, the bear entered Mr. Oliver's tent. Our scoutmaster was already outside, fortunately. The bear entered Mr. Oliver's tent and came out entangled in his dressing gown. He then made off towards the forest, a comical sight in his borrowed clothes. And though we were a troop, we thought it better to let the bear keep the gown. So, children, wasn't it a very, very interesting story? So, you have understood the chapter very well? Yes? Okay. So, thank you so much, children. Take care and bye bye.